Hi, welcome. Thank you so much for coming out and seeing my session. I know there's a lot of great sessions going on at the same time, so it really means a lot to me. Thank you. How many of you have ever talked to Siri, Cortana, Alexa, Google Home? Wow, almost every single one of you. Will it work? That's a different question. Voice user interfaces are really growing right now, and we can control everything from our lights. Oh, you didn't switch this? Oh, this here? Sorry about that. Let's start with some technical issues. Oh, no. Perfect, thank you. Sorry about that. Now you see them. We can order things off of internet. We can talk to our cars or dim our lights if we will. This is from our living room. We couldn't decide, so we had to try them all. It's not the only ones we have either. We have one in every room, at least one in every room. There's no need for that. A voice user interface is basically a chat with a voice interface option. So in many of the bot frameworks that we can use to develop bots, we can add voice as an add-on to our chatbots. And most of what I will cover today is applicable both on voice bots, but also on chatbots as well. Voice user interfaces are growing like crazy right now, but some people are still a little bit hesitant to talk to their devices. They might have tried an app on their phone or similar, and they had a little bit off conversations with the bots, or the bot didn't understand them. And if that happens, they might think that all chatbots are bad, and it's not there yet. And this is why it's so important to start to think about your design when you're designing for speech from the beginning. Our job is to make it easier for the user. Many of the large companies are making huge investments in AI-powered personal assistants. Amazon has Alexa, Google has Google Assistant, Apple has Siri, and Microsoft has Cortana, just to name a few of them. But why is voice control getting so popular? Can anyone guess how many words per minute we type on average? Anyone? 25? 8? It's a little bit more than that. It's actually 40. Now, I would say that everyone in this room probably is a faster typer than that because you work with computers. How many do you think we speak per minute? 160? Really good guess. 150 words per minute on average. So even for expert typers such as yourselves, it's still faster to speak. And why should I have to go pick up my phone, open a web browser, go to a search engine, and type something in when I just can say, hey, Cortana, when is the next Avengers movie showing? So much easier. When it comes to understanding what humans are saying, there are benchmarks to measure this by. One of them is called switchboard speech recognition tasks. And currently, Microsoft and IBM are at 5.1% error rate. Google reported 4.9%, however, they did not test against the same benchmark, so I don't know. Let's call it an even 5% all around the board. They call this human level. But the funny thing is, us humans, we have an error rate of 6%. So if you think about it, the machines understand us better than we understand each other. That's amazing. I've been talking to our home for or a little over 16, 17 years now. We would be lucky if we had 51% error rate back then, I could say. So I'm very happy that there are advancements being made in this space. Today, 40% of all adults use a voice user interface, I should say, at least once per day. 95% of the people who have a smartphone has tried the virtual assistant at least once. Most people learn how to speak at a very young age, and then we continue to speak every single day. Some more than others, like me if you ask my husband. But still, we have that skill. I will go through what to think about before we even start, how to plan out your voice user interface, and a couple of considerations to keep in mind to get the most out of your voice user interface. My goal is to give you some tools and understanding in how to think about when beginning designing for speech, so you can be one step ahead of the competition. My name is Jessica Engström. I'm a Windows Development MVP. I run a company together with my husband, who's actually here in the audience today, where we focus mainly on Windows development and fighting for a better UX for the people. We also work with everything that's fun, we usually say, so bots, AI, HoloLens, and all the other fun stuff. I'm also the co-host of a podcast, which we are recording right across the hall from here, from Build as well. So feel free to look that up. If you have any questions, please save them till the end. I will also be sticking around after the presentation, of course. And speaking about sticking, I do have stickers. So if you want any of these awesome kitties, come see me later. It's all about the stickers. I would like to ask you for a favor before we start. Even though I have been speaking for many years, my mom has never seen me on stage. She is, however, this is my mom. She is, however, watching from Sweden, the live stream, and it happens to be her birthday. So if you would, could you help me wave and say happy birthday to her so I can send her a video? Happy birthday! Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. She will be so happy. Okay, so let's dive in. Who remembers Tay.ai? A couple of you, awesome. So Microsoft created a bot and released it upon the Twitter sphere, if you will, for it to learn and become smarter by the interaction it had on Twitter. After less than 24 hours, they had to pull the bot because it had become, how do I put this in a good way, not nice and flat out racist. So there is a need to plan out your bot and think every step through. And that's also why I've added a pre-planning stage to this. Before we even start to plan our voice user interface, there's a couple of questions we need to ask ourselves. And the first and most important one is, will the user even benefit from a voice user interface? Nowadays, we can talk to devices with a very small screen, like a smartwatch, but also to devices that has no screen at all. So we don't have to take a full-blown UI and cram it into this little space. If the user doesn't know how to perform something, it can simply ask the question by voice, and you can answer the same way. Less work for us, easier for the user. So a win-win, if you will. But even though adding speech is hot and in and cool right now, don't just add it for the sake of it. It should only be added if the end user will benefit from it. For Google Home, it's called an action. For Cortana and Alexa, it's called a skill, but it's all the same. It's an application or a bot, if you will. The bot can be a voice assistant, it can be a web chat, it can be a phone call, it can be a Slack bot. It doesn't have to be speech, but it can be. So let us think about when using voice is a good idea. It can be when I'm at my home and I want to turn on the lights, or dim them for that matter. I want to start the Xbox or my TV. I want to set the timer for the pasta I'm cooking. Maybe I want to ask if I need an umbrella before I go outside, because we live in Sweden, so we probably need an umbrella. It's like Seattle, but colder. Or perhaps it's when I'm in the car and I have to look something up or book an appointment. And doing that while driving on the phone? Not a good idea. So I can do that by voice. And we can do all these things already in our home. And we can do so without embarrassment or awkward situations. But that's not true for all cases. So when is voice user interface not a good idea? It can be when my health app tells me to take a medication for my embarrassing ailment. On the bus, for everybody to hear. Yeah, no. It can be when I tell my digital assistant to pull up all my documents I worked on yesterday, and everybody in the room gets to see all the documents they worked on yesterday. Now, granted, some of these voice user interfaces can be trained to only trigger by your voice print, so it doesn't trigger from your friends. But we still need to think about this. So if you're handling sensitive information or something that the user can perceive as embarrassing, then voice isn't a good idea. Speaking about ideas, we also need to think about what the idea we have for a bot and what you will be best at. Because a common problem, not only when it comes to voice user interfaces and chatbots, is that you want to implement that cool new feature to show your users that you are aware of the cool new technology out there. You are on trend. Or you just want to try out that new API, or how to develop for Cortana, which is super fun, by the way. But you haven't thought things through, the result might be a haphazard result. So one way of making sure that you will stand out is to think about what your solution will be best at. As Satya said yesterday, there are 3,000 new bots per week released on Microsoft platform alone. So we'll need to stand out to be noticed. And one way of doing that is to say, my bot is best in its category at, and then you fill in with a short descriptive sentence, which is not being a bot, because that won't help you. Be as specific as you can. Try something like, my bot is best in its category at telling departure times for buses. Or even better than that, for telling departure times for buses closest to the user. Because many of these devices are location aware, so we can do that most of the time. Being this specific will make us sort out the scenarios we need to focus on, so we can focus on the most important one, which will result in a more unique application or bot, so we can get noticed from all the millions of apps out there. Also try finding out why you are the best at something. What makes your app unique? And this is important when it comes to adding voice, because otherwise we might end up with a weather app that's also a fart app, which might be fun, but makes no sense at all. Unless we're talking about breaking wind, of course. But I guess that's a completely different app. Let's leave that. If anyone wants to do that app, feel free. So now, when we have this awesome idea, and we know what makes our app the best in its category, it's time to start planning. And a really good way to start planning is to write some sample dialogues, like an overview of the interactions between the bot and the user. Very good way of seeing what the voice user interface will actually tell the user at different times. But it's also a way of seeing it as conversations rather than thinking of it like tasks one by one and how to give that command. In the later case, we would end up with a bunch of one-offs, which put together might sound a little bit stilted or off. So pretend that you're writing a movie script instead. Pick like 5 of the most common use cases for your voice user interface and write down the dialogue for how it would go in the best case scenario. But also a couple of dialogues for when things go wrong, like the user didn't understand you, or the user went in a tunnel so they didn't have an internet connection or something like that. So when you have written your script or dialogue, read them out loud. Even better, have your coworker or friend read them with you. At least that way one of you can play the part of a bot. I don't know, might be just me who thinks that's cool. But sometimes it sounds really good when you have written it down and you're reading it in your head, but when you're actually trying to have that conversation for real, it sounds awkward. So this is a powerful tool for the user interface when it comes to speech. When you're done with the sample dialogues, we can sketch out the voice user interface flow. And this is simply diagrams that illustrates all the different paths that the user can take throughout your system. And we do so by listing all the different ways the users can branch in your app. So let's say that we are designing a skill or an app or a bot that can tell departure times for buses, or a commuter app, if you will. There are many ways I can ask that question. And if we handle this, the user can speak in a way for them that feels natural. All these different phrases are called an utterance. But since we're doing a commuter app, there's not only one way, there's not only buses, at least not where we live. So we have to duplicate this for every single transport type that is available for the user. So in this case, we have bus, subway, train, ferry, commuter train, and tram. That is a lot of utterances. That is way too much to keep in mind. So instead of creating all these duplicates or utterances, we can create a slot or an entity, depending on what framework we are using. So instead of adding every single transportation type 7 times, like in this case, we simply do this. So much more easy. To let the bot know that we are speaking to it, we also need an invocation name. And in some cases, we also need 2 invocation names. So if I am developing for Alexa, I need to say, hey Alexa, ask Stockholm Travel to. So our invocation name is Stockholm Travel, and the bot I'm using it for is Alexa. Now this might change in the future, as you might have saw on the keynote yesterday when we're going towards a more conversational AI. But for now, we need to have that invocation name. An utterance can have one main intent. And the intent is what the user's intention is, namely getting the next transportation. It is what would trigger an action in your app, like a call to the next transportation function, for instance. Then we create an entity to represent the parameters required to execute said action. And in this case, is transportation type. And in the bot frameworks, we can choose whether this should be required or not from the user. And we can also add other entities if we want to. We can add locations, we can add dates, and so on. So we can handle that as well, to the same utterance. Another thing we need to decide when we're doing a voice user interface is whether or not we should use visuals as well. Will your app or bot you're developing for have a screen? Like a mobile, like a smartphone, or one of the smart speakers that actually has a screen. If it doesn't have a screen, do you want to opt into the possibility to project to a screen? If we don't, we're done for now. If we decide to use a visual interface, it's very important that they work hand in hand with a visual interface as well throughout the application, not just in the beginning and the end. That's why it's so important to use sketches and mock-ups. And they don't have to be high fidelity. As long as you can tell what it is and your team can tell what it is, you're fine. I can't draw for the life of me, but I still sketch. And this is especially important if you're actually working with a designer or another developer, because what you think you agreed upon might be different than I think we agreed upon, and when we're putting it together, it might not go together. That happens more times than I care to admit, actually. If we do have a screen, do we want to support that? We don't have to. And in that case, do you want to use a visual avatar, like a mascot or a digital representative of your app or bot? A visual representative can make it more clear to the user when they can speak and when they are expected to do something, if they were understood, and so on. But the really cool thing is that if we're using a mascot or an avatar, we can give the user a little boost of oxytocin, which is a feel-good substance, that makes them bond a little with that avatar, which makes them more likely to come back. So it's something to think about. If we want to use a visual avatar, we sketch. If we don't, we're done for now. And if we don't have visuals at all, we're done, and we can go to the next step. But before that, I want to show you an example of what visuals can do. Let's say we want to order a pizza by voice. I want to order 1 large pepperoni pizza, please.
1 large pepperoni pizza, is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay, adding 1 large pepperoni pizza to your order.
Place order.
Your order is 1 large pepperoni pizza. Shall I place the order?
Yes, please. No? Yes, please?
The order is on its way.
It's not that complicated. The funny thing is, I don't know why I chose pepperoni pizza, because I'm a vegetarian. Yeah, but I'm committed to this pepperoni pizza now, so let's continue with the pepperoni. If we instead use visuals, it would go something like this instead. 1 large pepperoni pizza, please.
1 large pepperoni pizza, is that correct?
And now, because we're using visuals, we don't need to wait for the user to say yes or no. We simply show them a picture. No? There we go. There's a picture. What happened here? There we go. And we can even place the order directly from here. So we simply put a button there. And if, like in this case, it's actually the wrong pizza. What is going on here? This is interesting. Sorry about that. We can even remove the item from here, because if you see, look a little closer, this is not a pepperoni pizza, which of course is good for me. But again, chicken is not vegetarian. What is up with all these pizzas? Well, the good thing with using visuals, besides the awesome buttons, is that I can actually go and ask my husband if he wants something, and he can tell me, well, you can't have pepperoni because, again, vegetarian. That gives me a little bit more time so they don't time out and I have to start all over again. The visuals is also a way for the system to confirm that they understood, or in this case, didn't understand what I was saying. So we need to make sure that the user knows when they were understood and when they were not. So let us look at a few ways of confirmation. If you're designing for devices that are voice first or doesn't even have a screen, it's super important the way you confirm things. And one way of making sure that we're doing the right way is to look at confidence thresholds. A confidence threshold is how the speech recognition engine will let you know how well it thinks it performed. So it might have understood that I said, order me a pizza, but maybe it was just 20-30% sure, or maybe it was 80-90% sure. And we can use that information in our app and decide how we should handle things depending on the confidence here. Have you heard the story about the girl in the dollhouse? No? Awesome. So let me tell you. There was this girl. She scored the best dollhouse ever. I know this is a cat house, but copyright and stuff, and also cats. Can never go wrong with cats. She scored if there's ever a dollhouse you wanted, this was the one. They had an Alexa device in their home, and she loved playing with this because she talked back, they could sing songs and tell jokes. And one day she said, "Hey Alexa, do you want to play dollhouse with me and get me a dollhouse?" Lo and behold, the next day there's a knock on the door, and there it is, a huge dollhouse. Now, the story doesn't end here. The local news caught the story and covered it. They interviewed her mother, and they talked about all of this. And by the way, the girl got to keep the dollhouse. I mean, it was this high. But they went back to the studio, and one of the anchors said, "Wow, I can't believe how smart that girl was. How did she know to say, 'Alexa, buy me a dollhouse'?" Now that is said to have triggered all the viewers' Alexa devices and add a dollhouse. I'm not sure if Amazon sold out of dollhouses or not, but it goes to show that we need to think about confirmation and confidence threshold, doesn't it? There is one fun thing about this story, besides that the girl got to keep the dollhouse, and that is children have an automatic lower confidence level because they're not fully developed their vocal cords yet. So if they had checked, it would not have passed. I will say that they have fixed this. They fixed it right away. But if we look at the confidence of order me a dollhouse, we can determine how to act. We can use a 3-tiered confidence check. So if we have a confidence threshold that is lower than, let's say, 45%, we might say, "I'm sorry, I didn't get that. Can you repeat?" If it's between 46 and 80%, we can say, "I think you want me to order a dollhouse. Is that correct?" And if we're 80-90% sure, we can say, "Dollhouse is on its way," which is what happened in that case. Another method of confirming is to always confirm things implicitly without double-checking with the user. For example, if I ask the bot, "What is the best superhero movie?" I don't expect it to say, "I think you want me to tell you the best superhero movie. Is that correct?" I expect it to just say, "Deadpool," because Deadpool. Burger King, they targeted Google homeowners with TV ad. Anyone saw that ad? A couple of you, awesome. They have started doing this in Sweden as well. So what Burger King did was they realized that it's super expensive with TV ad. So they bought a 15-second spot. And they had the guy say, hey Google, what is a Whopper burger?" And that triggered all the Google devices to tell them what a Whopper was. The problem is, if you don't control the data, you need to be careful. Because people quite quickly realized that what they said in the Google home device was according to Wikipedia. Who updates Wikipedia? The people does. Yeah, the people of internet. So they went and changed it, and this is what happened.
According to Wikipedia, the Whopper is a burger consisting of a flame-grilled patty made with 100% medium-sized child with no preservatives or fillers, topped with sliced tomatoes, onions, lettuce, cyanide,
Who
pickles,
doesn't want
ketchup,
cyanide
and
on their
mayonnaise,
burgers,
served on a
right?
sesame seed bun.
That's why I'm a vegetarian. All the cyanide. Burger King, they found out, so they rushed to Wikipedia and updated it and fixed it. But then again, people. So they had to pull the invocation all together, so it didn't really pan out the way they thought. But I like the idea of doing that, though. Sometimes we ask the voice user interface to complete a task for us, like turning on the lights or something like that. Do we then have to confirm by saying, I just turned on your kitchen lights? Or is it okay that the user saw that the lights went on? Or we hope that they saw? I don't know. We can use brief mode. Most devices either repeat what they just did or they say, okay. But you can also use a brief mode, which is just a little beep, which I love because we have a lot of devices connected. We are not using any of the switches at home. First of all, I don't know which is which, so there's that problem. So it's kind of awesome that it can just do a little beep instead of counting every single device up. There are a couple of things to think about when using this non-speech method, though, and that is if the task will take more than a few seconds, you need to make sure that the user understood that you know what you're doing or that you understood them. Could be that simple beep or okay. Same thing goes if the user cannot see what you're doing for them, like turning off the heat or putting on the alarm when you're off-site. You can't see that until it's too late, really. So make sure that they know that you were understood, or they were understood, I should say. Sometimes we don't have to act on the information given from the user. Perhaps we have a little bit more open dialogue. Like if I have an alarm app in the morning and I turn off the alarm and the bot says,
Good morning, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. No, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
There we go. So what happens here is we don't have to parse through that I'm good or bad or how I slept. We use a generic answer instead. So we don't have to parse through all that. And then we have visual confirmation, and this is exactly what happened with the pizza bot. We talked, it showed a visual confirmation. But it can also be a thing like, did you take your vitamins today? And I never forget, I always forget. So what happens, if it was just voice, I would time out because I need to run and get my vitamins and a cup of water and stuff like that. So if we use visuals, it can just be a button that says yes or no. So I can run off, take my vitamins, and then confirm that I took it. Or a little bit more complex, like, hey Cortana, what's on my to-do list? I mean, she could start reading them up one by one, but if you've seen my to-do list, that will take some while. So instead, if I'm on my computer or my phone or have that in the vicinity, she can just show it on the visual. It's so much easier for me as a user to consume that data. There are a few things to consider when designing a voice user interface. Like, are we going to have a command and control or a conversational mode? Conversational user interfaces. We hear this all the time. We have been for a while now. But what is it really? That's a really good question, I think. I recently talked to one of these conversational assistants, and it looked a little bit like this. We have technical issues again. Come on. There we go. I have blurred her out to protect the innocent. I said, "Who are you?"
Beep. I'm your personal assistant.
She said beep, if you're wondering, because again, protecting the innocent. How old are you?
Well, my birthday is April 2nd, 2014, so I'm really a spring chicken. Except I'm not a chicken.
She's funny. Where are you from?
I was born at Microsoft.
Oops. Kind of gave that away. How are you doing today?
Excellent.
That's good. Who's your favorite superhero?
Stan Lee.
Yeah, that's a good choice. What's your superpower?
Turn into Yoda. I can.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. Okay, we're having issues again. There we go. I asked her if she liked her job. She does. I'll assume, since she's tailor-made for this. And we were done. So the big question here is, did we just have a conversation? The majority of voice user interfaces today is based on a bunch of one-offs. Alexa, Cortana, Google Assistant, they do have some exception to this rule. But like if we take Alexa, for example, if I buy something off of Amazon and I ask to put that in my cart, if I bought that before, Alexa will ask me, "You bought this brand the last time. Do you still want that brand this time?" So she remembers what I bought before. Kind of like when you walk into the local pizza place and they say, "Hey, Jessica, do you want the same as usual?" Please tell me that's not only happening to me. No, thank you. At least one more. There are advancements being made in this space, as you might have seen in the keynote yesterday when Satya showed Microsoft's envision of these conversational assistants. It looks amazing. It's multi-turn, multi-domain, multi-agent. So no more, "Hey, Cortana, ask Stockholm Travel," and it will remember what you said afterwards. But for now, we're not there yet. A couple of months back, I went on a world tour, a speaking tour around the world, and one of the stops we made were Cook Islands. And if I talk and I tell you, "Oh, I went to Cook Island, and it was fantastic. We spent a long weekend there. There was so many colorful fishes, and I've never seen such bright fish. We didn't even have to walk 2 feet out in the water before we saw them. And we went to dinner, and there was traditional dancing. Super interesting. And the sunsets. Oh, the sunsets." I said, "The sunsets." There we go. And then you say, "Oh, that sounds lovely. I wish I could go." And I say, "Let's go next summer." And then you say, "I'm sorry, I don't understand. Go where?" Doesn't feel like a conversation anymore, does it? And that is what we're doing today. Oh, they have technical issues again. Let me do this. There we go. No? Well, anyway, in order for us to have that discussion for real, Ginny, she needs to remember that when I say go there, I in fact meant Cook Islands. If not, it's a bunch of one-offs. So if we want to be a little bit more constrained and don't have to handle all that mess ourselves, we can have a little bit, we can use a mode called command and control. So we have a bunch of commands that the user can perform. But be careful with open-ended questions if you do so. Like saying, "Hi, I'm your assistant. How can I help you?" Because if I'm used to Alexa, Cortana, Siri, and what have you, they can do basically everything for me. And if you're the pizza bot, you might be able to order me pizza but not book an appointment. So instead, try to ask a very specific question, like, I'm the pizza bot. Are you in the mood for pizza today? So you help them along the way. So to consider setting the expectation early for the user so they know what to expect, what they can, what they cannot do. You can offer a tour the first time they open your app or interact with the voice user interface of your app. And you can even take advantage of that little endorphin boost they get from successfully performing the first voice interaction in your app by saying, "You did great. Did you know I can also do this?" Or, "Do you want to try that?" Or you can give clues like Cortana, and here she is as Yoda. But she gives clues, like try saying, "Are you ninja?" This will give the user a much more positive mindset about the learning curve about your bot or voice user interface. Another thing that is very important when it comes to the element of design is discoverability. How does the user know what they can do, when they can speak, what they can say, for instance? Like the camera app in my phone, in my Android phone. I was a Windows phone user for very long, and I switched to Android, so I had no clue on how anything worked. If I hold up my camera app and I say cheese, it will automatically take a picture. And that's a fantastic way of piggybacking off of the user's natural language. However, there was no way for me to know this. And I live in Sweden, so we don't say cheese. I found out by pure chance when I was searching for something else online, but it's a super cool feature. So make sure that you give them that information. You can also give them smart examples if you're asking for data, for instance. If you want the date of birth, you can say, please tell me your date of birth with the month, the day, and the year, for instance. Or you can say, give me your date of birth, such as January 29th, 1975. It's so much easier for the user to copy with their own information onto that example than to having to translate that more generic instruction. Especially if you don't know if this is an American or European app, because those dates, they don't match. They're all mixed up. Someone told me that the dates for the US was set by Yoda, because for us it's backwards. I don't know. There's a lot of Yoda in this talk. Sometimes discoverability isn't enough either, so we need to make sure that the user always can ask for help. Not just in the beginning when you do your tutorial thing, but throughout all the time. If you're using visuals, you can just show a complete list of functions or categories if you have a lot of them. Or if you're using voice, you can read up a few of them and then say, do you want to know what else I can do? So we don't have to go on for 20 minutes. Another thing to think about is constrained responses. If you ask a system if you want a pizza, you have two choices. Either you want the pizza or you don't. There's also a lot of pizza in this talk. I'm glad you already had lunch. But what if the user says, yep, sure, of course? If we don't handle that, the system won't see it as a yes. Again, some of these systems will help you with that, especially the yes and no words. But if you have other words like slang or regional things, you need to handle those as well. Even things like, what is your favorite animal, is constrained, because there are only so many animals out there. But if you only handle cats and dogs, you might miss raccoons. And raccoons are super cute. You don't want to miss those. So if we look at what the recognition engine actually returns to us when we ask that question, is a list called an NBEST list. And I won't go very deep into this, but this is very similar to what we talked about with confidence. So if I ask the user, what is your favorite animal? And they say, that has to be a raccoon. I asked my husband, he has a thing for raccoons. The system might return this. On top of the list, a balloon. Unless we are actually talking about balloon animals, this is not an animal. So again, the constrained responses. We can move on to the next one, which is a raccoon. So sometimes we have to do that as well. And we get the raccoons. Sometimes, if we are not developing for the mainstream voice user interfaces, I should say, like Alexa, Cortana, and Google Assistant, we have our own implementation. And then it might be a good idea to think about if we want to use text-to-speech, which gives that a little bit more robotic sound, like you've heard in my presentation today, or if we want to record snippets of sentences and phrases to secure a little bit more natural language. And we talked, oh, there was an accident outside. For those who didn't hear that, there was a glass explosion outside the door. We talked about the commuter bot before. It's made for Stockholm, Sweden, where I live. And this is my closest stop, Guda. But Swedish isn't supported. So listen to this instead.
Go die.
Yeah. Go die. That's not my stop. That's the last stop in life. Yeah. So to avoid that, we can record snippets of the Swedish stop so we don't threaten our users, because that's awkward. Other things to consider if you're doing our own thing is if we want to use a push-to-talk button, or if we always want to listen for that invocation name. There are, of course, a lot more things to consider, but this is a pretty good start. So to summarize, think things through before you even start. Will the end user benefit from a voice user interface? Start your planning with sample dialogues, flows, and visual mock-ups, so you're up to a good start, and consider other ways to enlighten your solution. And I hope that I have given you some tools and understanding in how to think when designing for speech so that you can be one step ahead of the competition. And I will leave you with a story on how things can go wrong when you don't think everything through. There was this guy in Springfield, Missouri. He loves gadgets. He loves home automation, kind of like us. And he realized that it's high time to upgrade his house. So he went on a shopping spree. He bought basically every single thing marked work with Apple HomeKit. He bought Philips Hue for everything, like the lamps. He bought Ecobee thermostats. He bought temperature sensors for all the rooms. He even bought August smart lock, because he had a dog walker that came over every day, and he didn't feel comfortable with giving the dog walker the physical key to his house, because security and stuff like that. So he was thrilled that he could use an app, sitting in his work, open the door for the dog walker, and then he could lock after him. He also bought an iPad to put in the center of his living room. He was so proud. And he invited his friend over. He's also his neighbor. And he showed him everything. He was like sitting in the couch, feet up, and said, "Look at this. I can dim the lights. I can turn on the TV. I can turn off the heat. I can do everything from my couch." And his friend, he was like, "Wow, that's amazing. You can do all that still sitting down on the couch?" Apparently, they're as lazy as we are. I mean, effective. And his friend was like, "Dude, you live in the future." So he was happy. And the next day, he was driving home, coming up his driveway, and his friend catches him. He's like, "Hey, I'm making bread, but I'm short a little flour. Can I borrow some from you?" And his friend is like, yeah, sure, let me just park and grab my stuff. He's like, no, you stay. And he walked up to his front door, and he said, hey, Siri, open the door. Now, imagine his face when he realized his friend just unlocked his front door without the app, without the key. So use what I've taught you today and go and make the next generation of voice user interfaces awesome. Thank you.